Like a lot of regions, the music of the Philippines is largely a mix of styles and genres from around the world, specifically that of Spanish Latin America, Asian, and Western influences, as it combines with the indigenous music of the South Pacific country. Around 2,000 of the 7,641 islands of the Philippines are inhabited by native people as well as some colonizers. The isolation of these islands has brought about distinct musical traits, with the different practices of cultures, materials, and environment bringing about adaptations and innovations. European classical, semi-classical, and popular music were added to diversify the array of musical styles caused by the influence of the occupation of the Americans. Dating back to the Philippine Revolution, there has been a long history of the use of songs in protest for social change, with patriotic marches, folk, rock, and popular music becoming incorporated into the protest movements of the Philippines. The genres kudaman, a love song, and harana, a serenading song, were the result of instruments and musical forms being incorporated in local music colonization. The harana and kudaman date back to the period of the Spanish in the Tagalophone area of the country, being popular lyrical songs used in rituals of courtship customs. Having pre-colonial origins, the kudaman uses a rhythm with a triple meter, shifting to a major key in the second half of the song, after beginning in a minor key in the beginning of the piece. Based on the rhythmic patterns of the habanera is the jarana, as it has its roots in Mexican Spanish tradition. The harana is typically in 2/4 time, and the kundaman is typically in 3/4 time, which makes the two statistically different. Seen as a predecessor of kudaman is zarzuela, a form of Spanish theater, which was introduced after the invasion of the Americans and was viewed by those Americans as seditious, as national sentiments were being promoted, being localized and adapted in the music of the Philippines. Influenced by Latin America and the Spanish due to the rule of the Spanish viceroyalty, the folk music of the Philippines is heard more in this traditional genre in the coastal lowland regions of Luzon, Visayas, North and Eastern Mindanao, along the westernmost tip of Zamboanga. A large number of pre-colonial forms of music syncretize with the general Hispanic and Catholic idioms and the involvement of religious folk rituals such as Pasion chants that spread wide among Filipinos of the Christian faith, with the use of vocal styles that existed before the influence of the Spanish people. The end of the 19th century saw the domination of natives of higher education, referred to as ilustrados, in the scene of classical music, both as performers and as listeners. This genre was introduced during the Spanish colonial period, with later public school systems providing the early classical training as a part of the standard curriculum. Conservatories of music and colleges were established for furthering the advanced education. Classical music of the Philippines got its inspiration from neoclassicism of America, and eventually Filipino expressionism became distinct from the sound and form of the music traditionally of Europe. Since the times of church choirs, along with other present-day singing groups from schools, universities, and local communities, choral music has been made an important part of the music culture of the Philippines. Different varieties of this genre appear in songs of love, novelty, patriotism, folk, and as well as in foreign songs. The biggest influence on the modern genres of the Philippines was known as Manila Sound, as it was seen as the bright side to the martial law era of the mid to late 70s and was the forerunner of original Filipino music, or known as OPM, which comprises of all genres of the popular music of the Philippines that is composed, performed, or recorded. Comprising of the four-string instruments similar to that of the mandolin is the ensemble known as the rondalla, which also includes the bandura, laud, guitar, and double bass, as well as the occasional percussion drum instrument, as they are used to accompany dances and song forms in this Liberian rondalla tradition. A set of gongs, known as kulatan, is representative of the musical practices of the indigenous southern island of Mindanao, as well as other parts of Southeast Asia. Geographically, there are two types of gong music, one being in the Cordillera Mountains, with the people's use of flat gongs, known as gangsa, and the other being with the Muslims and animists and their use of bass gongs, that being in the Sulu archipelago, with the islands of Panay and Mindoro. Similar to the gamelan instruments from Indonesia, the kulatan is played differently by different groups in different ways, such as by the Maguindanao and the Maranao people. Its origins could be traced to either gongs from China to Southeast Asia or from the Java, with the introduction of the bass gong chimes. This is a living tradition in the southern regions with pre-colonial epoch of Philippine history, as the bands with the kulatan are the most advanced form of musical ensembles. A unique instrument played with the mouth of the musician is the cubing, a type of jaw harp made of bamboo used in the Philippines traditionally for the communication in close quarters between loved ones and family. Considered the most difficult indigenous instrument of all the Philippines is the two-string fretted boat lute known as the kujapi. This unique-sounding fretted instrument, consisting of two strings and wooden construction of jackfruit, is primarily used by the Maranao and the Maguindanaoan people, as it has a significant part in storytelling and Filipino ceremonies. Like other countries, the Philippines is also seeing an increase in popularity with genres such as jazz, rock, pop, hip-hop, reggae, electronica, ambient, and the Latin and bossa nova, as there is syncretism between native cultures and other countries' influences. This mixture, along with traditional genres, makes the music culture of the Philippines have both a familiar and a unique sound.